What's up YouTube, my name is CakeyC and welcome to the channel. So ranked play in Call of Duty Vanguard is a tiny bit confusing, so in this video we're going to cover everything you need to know about ranked play in Call of Duty Vanguard. So let's kick things off with the most important part, how it works and how to play it. So ranked play is a competitive 4 vs 4 playlist which will use the same settings, maps, modes, items and rules set as the Call of Duty League. So when you jump into ranked play, you're playing the exact same style that the Call of Duty pros do when they compete in tournaments. The main differences between ranked play and normal playlists is that there are a number of restricted items such as guns, kill streaks, equipment and so on. There's only a certain number of maps in the rotation, penalties for quitting and friendly fire will be enabled, and you will also have a separate rank and a separate skill division. So let's take a look at what you'll be playing when you jump into ranked play. So there are 3 different game modes across 5 different maps, and you will be limited to playing Control, Search and Destroy and Hardpoint on the following 5 maps: Gavutu, Tuscan, Berlin, Bocage and Desert Siege. So before you hop into any ranked games, just make sure you're familiar with how each of those game modes work and some familiarization with those maps on that list. Now the list of restricted guns, perks, attachments, kill streaks and so on is way too big to be going through in this video, so if you are looking for the best class setup and the best attachments to be using for Call of Duty Vanguard's ranked play, I will leave a link down in the description below to one of my other videos which will go through everything that you need to know with regards to class setups and gun attachments for ranked play. Once you're ready to jump into ranked play, what happens next? Well, you will need to play 5 games in their entirety in order to become ranked and to be placed in a skill division. Now this is totally random, and don't get your hopes up that these games will be number 1 what you want to play, number 2 the maps you prefer, and number 3 easy. Because in my 5 placing games, I played Search and Destroy 4 out of the 5 times. I've never played a single game of Search and Destroy on Call of Duty Vanguard's multiplayer, so it was a slight shock to the system being thrown into my weakest game mode for 4 out of the 5, the majority of the placing games. And a quick note on the first 5 games, the skill-based matchmaking seems pretty all over the place, so don't get disheartened if you are playing against absolute demons. In my very first placement game, the enemy team consisted of 3 players in the Master Division and 1 player in the Elite Division, so don't worry too much if you are coming up against absolute sweats. And you might notice as you progress through those 5 games, the system will start to evaluate what skill division you should be and how good you are at Call of Duty, and it will start to make those lobbies slightly more appropriate towards the end of your first 5 games. Now, on the topic of skill division, what does the ranking system mean and how does it work? Well, to understand what's going on, we need to split the system into 2 categories. Number 1, skill division and skill rating, also known as SR in the game, and then rank and stars. So let's kick things off with the skill division. So this is indicated by the colour of the diamond underneath your emblem next to your name. So there are 8 different skill divisions. Contender on the left side is the lowest skilled division, and then the top 250 obviously is the top 250 players, but the challenger will be the highest skilled division. So once you play your first 5 placement games, you will then be assigned a skill division and you will have the relevant colour underneath your name. If you've been put in the contender bracket, you will have the light blue diamond under your name. If you've been put in the expert, you will have the green one under your name. So moving on to the skill rating points in game known as SR. So this is basically your skill evaluation in point form, and this will range from 0 all the way up to 5,000, 0 being contender, lowest bracket, 5,000 and onwards being the top 5 players in the world. Now don't worry, you're not stuck in the division that you are put in after your first 5 placement games. By playing ranked games you will earn these SR, these skill points, meaning you can increase your SR, allowing you to move through the divisions. Now up on screen you will be able to see the amount of points, the amount of skill rating points you will need to move up through the ranks. Contender is any player with a skill rating or skill point of 0 to 500. Specialist is any player with 500 to 1000 skill rating points, and so on. By winning you will gain SR points, and by losing you will lose SR points. Now I'll chuck up some visuals on screen for you guys to make it a little bit easier to see what's going on, but Each division can be broken down into 5 sub-tiers or subdivisions, and they will just be numbered. So you have Contender 5, Contender 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you promote it to the next skill division. And these will all come in increments of 100 SR points. So if you play your 5 placement games, you end up in Specialist with an SR of 938. You will have to win 1 or 2 games and then you will be instantly promoted to the Advanced division. It's just another way to break down the system and give players an idea of exactly where they stand, and just puts a numerical value on their skill evaluation. So like I just said, don't worry if you come out of your first 5 matches as, for example, a Contender 3. All you have to do is play and win consistently to move yourself up through the skill division. So in theory, you could start off as a Contender 5 with 100 SR. And eventually you could become a Challenger 1 with 3,300 SR and eventually move on to the top 250 or whatever. That's how this system works. So that's the skill division and the SR explanation kind of out the way. So what do the rank numbers and the emblems mean next to your name? So the rank and stars section is a totally different section to the skill division, and in my opinion it's not as important. It's just to level up through the ranks and earn some rewards for playing ranked play. Now there are 50 levels in ranked play, and the way you level up is by earning stars. And this is through progressing through bi-weekly ladder events. Now it all sounds a little bit confusing, but twice a week they have ladder events. You don't have to enter them, you're automatically put into them, and you just gain ladder points by playing games, getting daily bonuses for playing games every day, and just winning. So just making up an example, say you earn 100 ladder points for winning 1 ranked game, and you have to play 5 games to earn the 100 ladder points daily bonus. If you win all 5 of your games, you will have 500 ladder points for winning all 5, and then you will get your extra 100 for playing those 5, so you will have 600, and then that might put you at 10th in the ladder, and you will earn whatever the amount of stars 10th will give you. Say it's 4, you'll earn 4 stars for that bi-weekly event by being in that position. Obviously you do have to carry on playing because other players will accumulate more points. So if there's a player earning 500 points a day but you earn 600 in one day and don't play, they will then eventually finish higher than you and earn more stars because you haven't played. So it just rewards players who are playing often and a lot more than those who are just doing it in one session once and then forgetting about it for the rest of the week. So it kind of getting players to get back to the game as often as possible. The higher up you finish in these bi-weekly ladders, then the more stars you will earn. For example, I have finished 3rd in this week's ladder event, and you can see the name at the top. This is Whiskey 97, that's the ladder event name. So I will be rewarded 6 stars, and this will be enough to get me 2 ranks. I will be moving up from rank 1 to rank 3 for finishing 3rd in this week's ladder event. And all I've done is just play ranked play for a few days. I've played maybe 10 games over 3 days, and I've ended up in this position. So it's not too hard. If you were really serious about this, you could quite often hit the top 5 on these ladder events if you really wanted to. And just to round it off, like I said, you gain ladder points for winning, and through the daily bonuses you will lose ladder points for losing and leaving games. So it basically just shows a player's dominance for that bi-weekly event across the 3.5 days or whatever it is. It just shows how often they're winning, how often they're playing, that they're not disconnecting, all that good stuff. And there we go guys, that is pretty much everything you need to know about how Call of Duty Vanguard's ranked play works. A quick recap on everything we've gone through. If you jump into ranked play, you'll play through 5 placement or evaluation games. You will then be assigned a skill division. This will be indicated by the color underneath your emblem. You will play and win to earn skill rating points, also known as SR. This will allow you to progress through each individual tier and division, and by playing and winning you automatically earn ladder points. The higher up the ladder you finish in the bi-weekly event, the more stars you will earn, and that will allow you to level up through the possible 50 ranks faster. So the more you play, the better you get, the more you win, the more SR points you get, the more stars you get for finishing higher up the ladder. So it is a progressive kind of snowball effect. They just want you playing the game as much as possible to get those rewards. And guys, like I said at the start of the video, if you do want to find out the best class setups and the best gun setups for ranked play, the same ones that the pros use, then make sure to hit the link in the description or the pinned comments to find out all of that information. Guys, if you enjoyed that video or you found it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it down below. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so big love to anyone who leaves a like or a comment on the video. Speaking of leaving a comment, what division are you in at the moment, and are you working towards moving up the divisions? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you for staying tuned to the video. As always, feel free to subscribe to the channel for all of the latest Call of Duty news, tips and tricks, how-tos, class setups, and much more.
Wednesday.